If there's one thing the Nintendo Switch is not lacking of, it's great indie games. It seems like there's a never-ending stream of titles from developers you've never heard of, cranking out titles that deserve more attention. And hey, here's another. Curse Crackers for Whom the Belle Toils. Curse Crackers originally released last year on Steam, but I found out about the Switch version after seeing a tweet from Colorgrave, the developers of the game, a few months back and decided I wanted to give it a go. Right off the bat, I have to address the name. The subtitle of For Whom the Belle Toils, Belle being B-E-L-L-E, the name of the main character you control, most certainly is some sort of reference to the Japan-only Nintendo title from back in the Game Boy, Karu no Tame Nikane wa Naru, or The Frog for Whom the Belle Tolls. But I'll be honest and upfront, I have no idea why this reference is here, other than it just sounds funny. You may look at Curse Crackers and see the pixel art style and hear the music and just immediately go, oh great, here's another retro-inspired indie platformer on the Switch. And while that's clearly true, Curse Crackers really sets itself apart with its fantastic movement. It sounds dumb saying it out loud, but the word that kept coming to my head when trying to describe the movement in this game was locomotion. So let's just pretend I used that thoughtfully and intelligently in the previous sentence. As I mentioned previously, you control Belle, a former acrobat, alongside your sentient Belle named Chime. Belle and Chime, very charming. Running and jumping as Belle feels great. Good speed, lots of jump options with high jumps, quick long jumps, and the ability to bounce off obstacles and enemies. But Chime is really what makes the locomotion in this game just feel that much more fleshed out. You can throw Chime in any direction as you run along through the levels, and at first that makes for your basic attacks on enemies, taking them out from a safe distance where you have to worry about dodging them. But what throwing Chime is really good for is extending Belle's movement options because you can bounce off of Chime too. If you've played Mario Odyssey, think of how Mario throws Cappy to bounce off and extend his movement range. Now Belle can't capture and turn into enemies, but she sure can capture my attention with the creativity allowed through all of her movement options. Levels were anywhere from 3 to 8 minutes long, depending on how fast you want to run through them. You can go slow and be methodical, looking for all the collectibles hidden throughout. Or you can hold that sprint button down and start chaining together moves to get through in no time flat. A lot of the levels are really smartly designed with enemy and obstacle spacing, allowing you to perfectly go from one enemy head bounce to the next, and so on if you're pulling it off right. I tend to play slow on the first run and try to find all the secrets I could, but it was a hell of a time going back to the early levels and trying to beat them as fast as possible. Checkpoints are pretty frequent, but even if you fail to make it to the next floating balloon checkpoint thing, respawning happens so fast it almost doesn't feel like a punishment. The game lets you keep playing, no time to pick up your phone or get distracted between attempts. There are no lives in this game, so you don't have to feel bad about getting stuck on a hard jump, nothing to sweat. There is more to the game than just going from level to level though. Between stages, you get to walk around an overworld map spread across several areas, each with a unique theme and places to stop into and talk to NPCs, see some of your collectibles, or pick up side quests. All of this is completely optional though, so if you just want to mainline level after level, there's nothing stopping you. Personally, I didn't even finish a full side quest until after I rolled credits. These side quests are a good time because they can unlock special items for you to change up the game with and allow you to play otherwise hidden levels that are a little tougher to take on than the main ones. Talking to the side characters in the areas can be fun, but I did not feel like it was super important. The dialogue can be pretty charming, but I wouldn't say you're missing out on a whole lot if you skip all of this entirely. It can definitely be a good change of pace though if you just beat a couple of hard levels or just want to relax and understand the world better. One of the coolest places in the game is in the main hub town that has the majority of the NPCs. Off in the corner is the library. There you can go read all of the pretty well hidden lore books that act as collectibles in the main stages. You can actually read lore entries for each of these, and while I did not get super deep into the lore, nor do I think I really wanted to as I was mainly here for the jumping, but it was really cool to see how much care went into adding that much more depth to the world for those who do want to read about it and want to talk to all the friendly townsfolk. Along the way, you'll run into some not so friendly folk in the form of bosses. A couple bosses per area every few levels or so, nothing too crazy, but I really had a good time with these. Bosses can be as straightforward as your typical jump over the shockwave, run under their jump slam kind of thing, but others do get a little bit more unique, forcing you to use Chime in really smart ways, timing throws to hit them when they pass over a hazard, making sure you know how to maneuver in tight spaces with all your movement options. Bosses can be silly, and really most of this game is silly, but that charm was never lost on me and helped keep each one just a little bit more fun to take down. If you're an achievements person, there is a list of feats you can hunt down in the main menu, each of which unlocks a new color to use for Belle. I tried to equip new colors as I unlocked them for the most part to keep things fresh, but I eventually did settle on one I thought looked really neat and stuck with it. Most of them are pretty straightforward and come with completing side quests and finding collectibles. Overall, Curse Crackers for Whom the Belle Toils is an excellent platformer that I think needs to be on more people's radar. The game controls great and offers a really good range of challenge for those who seek it out. If you want to just beat the game is very approachable and fun to beat. But if you want that extra little spice, there are plenty of optional levels that are much quicker paced, taste your understanding of the options available to you, with much less forgiving checkpoints. If you're a fan of 2D platformers, this game should be a no-brainer for you. Final score, 8 out of 10. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, it would mean a lot to me if you left a like down below. Subscribing is also appreciated and should keep you in the loop for the next videos down the line. I try to post weekly and stream throughout the week when I can if I'm not being lazy. Let me know in the comments what your favorite indie games are on the Switch and if Curse Crackers looks interesting to you. I love to talk to people in the comments and I always get excited to see those notifications come through. That all being said, thanks for watching and see you next time.